I've tried to record this 3 times, so I'm going to sit here on the side of the road on my walk on this busy ass road and try to record this one last time. Often the universe will bring us something that we would have never wanted for ourselves that's awful to prepare us for what we ultimately want, because we are not ready to bring in what we ultimately want. First of all, we don't have an understanding of what even that is because we've never experienced it. And second, we're not on the right frequency to call it in. So I'm going to explain kind of what happened with me. When I left my marriage, it was a brave ass move that I did because something within me was telling me that this marriage was not challenging me. This marriage was over, that we had graduated, and that it was time to move on. And so I left it and had my single girl era for 1.5 years, and then started to realize I kind of want to settle down. Had no concept of what a real relationship was, had no concept of what I was looking for, just vaguely knew that I wanted to be in a relationship, that I wanted to have a person. And I think the universe always, when we have a desire, integrates and correlates that desire as one and the same thing. So whatever we want, the universe wants, and then those two things merge together and they become one. And what we want is logged away in an escrow account for us until we're ready or we're vibing on that frequency to bring it in. Well, the universe logged that I wanted a relationship, but I wasn't ready yet because I didn't even know what that entailed. And so instead, the universe brought me my last boyfriend, which that man, for some reason, triggered in me. I mean, beyond the fact he was avoidant and emotionally unavailable, triggered in me the deepest core wounds of my life. Like all the wounds from my childhood and from my origin story that made me act small, that made me accept breadcrumbs, accept hot and cold behavior, that made me pedestalize him to be chosen. He had me making excuses. He had me accepting bad treatment, accepting breadcrumbs, all the things. So all the ways, pandering for love, all of the things that I had to do as a child to be loved, I was doing in my relationship. And it started to become so painful because not only was he emotionally unavailable, he was a narcissist. So he had gotten really good at psychologically abusing to maintain power and control. So I was stuck in this paradigm where I couldn't get out because I was trauma bonded to him. And I knew that it was triggering me, but I was stuck in it. So that forced me to step up and meet my own needs. I started to learn how to recognize his behavior. I started to learn how to recognize that I was triggered, that I was acting out of pocket, and that I had a real lack of love within me. And in the relationship, I started to build myself. I started to grow, and then eventually grew so much that I left the relationship and spent time creating a homeostasis of healing within my body, regulating my dysregulated nervous system, doing things that I wanted to do, doing things that were nourishing to me, creating, cutting out toxic people, cutting out toxic family members that just repeated those same bad patterns that triggered me, that brought out that little pandering side to me, that little pandering hurt girl. Just seeing now what they were and really curating family and friends around me that integrated with that safety that I created within me. And now looking back, I'm realizing that relationship, as painful and horrible as it was brought to me so that I could be ready for divine union. Because now I know what divine union is, because I've created that divine peace within me. And so now I know that anybody that I meet, if it doesn't coalesce with that divine peace within me, then it's a no. And I also realized that my ultimate relationship will be two people that are accepting responsibility for the way they show up. They're doing their work. They are open to constructive feedback. They want to grow. They want to know what their shadow sides are. They're not scared of their shadow sides. They're ready to face them. They have been facing them. Together, we understand each other's and how to help each other through navigating those. And because of that divine sacred process that we're both undertaking individually, we grow in our love for each other. Our love grows. It's its own little organism that grows the more we do the self-work and the more we show up for each other. That love we have together just grows and becomes its own little divine thing. And it's a beautiful exchange that helps us to see ourselves more clearly and to also be held as we're doing that. I couldn't articulate that before I met my toxic ex. But because the relationship was so far from that and I learned what I don't want, I finally fine-tuned what I do want. And now I'm vibing on that frequency of internalized peace, internalized integration, and I'm ready for a relationship that mirrors that. And if it doesn't come anytime soon, I'm okay, because I'm no longer looking for outside sources to give that to me. I'm giving that to me, I'm doing a damn good job, and I'm really happy and at peace. And so I can wait as long as it takes. I'm not even waiting, I'm living, and if it happens, amazing. And now I know what it's gonna feel like when I bring that relationship in. And it was all because of that relationship that was painful, that I would have never asked for had I known the relationship from beginning to end.